halfway through, and we're still in India to talk about Sikhism. Established in the 15th century, there are about 25 million followers worldwide today. It is a monotheist religion, sometimes called panentheism, meaning creation, you, me, the world, and the universe is God. God is in all things, and God transcends all things. Sikhs do not assign a gender to God and also reject all distinctions of class, caste, creed, color, race, and national origin among humans. The word Sikh means to learn or simply student. They believe the soul is reincarnated before it reaches the human form, and the main goal is to once again merge with God. To do this, one must remember the one God at all times, live a modest householder's life, earn an honest living, and avoid worldly temptations. Merging with God does not require renunciation of the world, celibacy, blind rituals, priesthood, fasting, visiting places of pilgrimage, superstitions, worship of the dead, idol worship, and etc. God is not found in isolation. God is found in oneself as part of a family and community. This is best expressed through selfless service for the benefit and prosperity of all. Sikhs follow the teachings of 10 real people called gurus. Their sacred book, or collection of spiritual writings, is the last and eternal guru, Granth Sahib. They seem to have an obsession with the number 5. There are 5 thieves: lust, rage, greed, attachment, and ego, and 5 virtues: truth, contentment, compassion, humility, and love. Sikhs were persecuted shortly after establishing themselves by the Islamic Mughal rulers. 2 of the 10 gurus were tortured and executed when they refused to convert to Islam. When a Mughal emperor demanded the 7th guru Har Rai's presence, he sent his 13-year-old son Ram Rai in his place. The boy was taken hostage and questioned about a verse in Sikh scripture that disparaged Muslims. Ram Rai changed the verse to appease the emperor. Har Rai then excommunicated his son for not standing by Sikh scripture and nominated his younger son, Har Krishan, as his successor at the age of 5. Guru Har Krishan, the 8th and youngest guru, served the shortest amount of time. He is said to have cured people of smallpox during an epidemic until he died before turning 8 years old of smallpox. An order of pure Sikhs known as Khalsa was founded by the last and 10th guru, Gobind Singh. According to tradition, he asked if anyone from those who gathered at a massive festival which he organized would be willing to sacrifice their head. Finally, one came forward and was taken inside a tent. The guru shortly returned with a bloody sword and no volunteer. He asked for another volunteer 4 more times. When the 5th person had gone into the tent with him, the guru returned with all 5 volunteers, all alive and unharmed. He revealed he had killed 5 goats instead. The men were the first Khalsa in the Sikh tradition. A Khalsa must dress with the traditional 5 Ks: the Kanga, a comb; Kara, a bracelet; Kirpan, a sword or dagger; Kachera, boxer shorts; and Kesh, meaning uncut hair which must be combed twice a day and covered, usually by a colorful turban. Their most sacred site is the Hamandir Sahib, a temple built in the middle of a large man-made pool in 1577. It was destroyed multiple times by Muslim armies, twice within 5 years. In 1757, Babadeep Singh Ji incited the Sikhs to liberate the temple. In response, the Mughal emperor mobilized an army of 20,000 men. Babadeep's army intercepted them about 5 miles from the temple city. At 75 years old, Babadeep fought with a sword weighing about 32 pounds. He was attacked by the commander Jamal Khan. Both men swung their weapons mightily, decapitating the other's head. A young warrior, seeing this, reminded Babadeep he made a vow to reach the temple even if he lost his head. That was all it took for him to immediately stand up, and holding his head, he continued fighting. The sight of him made the men in the Mughal army flee in terror. Baba Deep Singh Ji reached the walkway of the temple and died. The spot where his head fell is marked with a stone. Still, the temple was demolished. When the Muslims demolished the temple again in 1762, they also filled the pool around it with garbage. It was completed again in 1776, laid with white marble, and in 1830 was covered in gold foil. Most of the interior walls are also covered in gold, and there's a giant golden chandelier in the center. In English, it's called the Golden Temple. It was originally intended to emphasize humility and the need to reject or erase ego. The story of Baba Deep and the Golden Temple seem at times to violate all 5 virtues and embody all of the thieves except lust. As the British Empire advanced in India, the Sikh warriors would become part of the private army of the British East India Company. They also joined the uprising against the British East India Company. Sikhism offers an early attempt at Omnism with the generalization of God, but keeps the emphasis in attachment to religious manifestations like holy sites, sacred dress, and scripture. It is yet another testament to the power we give religion, to the point we would reject the ones we love and sacrifice our lives. The story of religion predates Sikhism by thousands of years. Along the way, things like human and animal sacrifice fell out of favor, as well as less extreme rituals and appeasements to a higher power, sometimes replacing them and sometimes abandoning them entirely in the quest for greater knowledge and understanding. Sikhism seems to be somewhere in the middle of that progression, but perhaps in the future, our descendants will look back and see it was closer to the beginning.